Hey everybody.
Hi everyone.
Hey everybody.
Hi everyone.
Hi guys.
Hey everyone.
Hi everyone.
Armani, hey, hi. It's your big brother, Brandon.
Hey Isabel.
Hey Taryn.
Hi.
Hi Trinity.
Hi Sarah.
Hi Hunter.
Hey T, it's me and your buddy Gunner.
Hey Jair, how you doing, man?
For the world we're gonna make. There's a house we can build. Every room inside is filled with things from far away. Hey! Special things I compile, each one there to make you smile on a rainy day. Hey! They can say it all.
I really enjoy being a mentor to people in my job. So I kind of wanted to take that to the next level and be a mentor to others in my community.
We thought we wanted to make a positive influence on the life of a local child. So we got involved with Big Brothers and Big Sisters.
Being a big sister was something that sounded like a lot of fun and something very meaningful, personal, and it has been.
This point forward, you are officially matched, so you are big and little together, which is awesome.
Hey everybody! How's everyone doing today? Welcome to Kansas Big Brothers Big Sisters serving Reno County, our virtual and in-person information session. We have a few people here that have joined us in person. We've got the Eismans, we've got the Wicks, we've got a star in the midst of us. Lieutenant Gates is here. Everyone say hi so they can hear you. Yes, cool. Well, we're so grateful that you've joined us today to learn a little bit more about what we do and how, whoops, and how, sorry. I've got my audience is telling me that something's going on with your picture. Thank you guys. But we're so happy that you've decided to join us today and to learn a little bit more about what you might be able to do to become a part of it. So just a little FYI, we are recording this for those of you who may not have been able to join us today, so you'll be able to review this later. And just quick housekeeping, I want to thank the Cosmosphere for allowing us to be in this room for no charge. It's been great. It's a beautiful room. We appreciate them so much. And just for those that are here, your restrooms are down the hall. And for those of you that are at home, you know where your restrooms are. So I don't need to go into that. But it's been really, really inspiring and interesting, to say the least. Our bigs have done some amazing things, and they've inspired us all along the way during this really difficult time that we've been going through in our world. And as you may have seen in the opening video, our bigs have done our meeting virtually, and some of them have now connected in person, but they've been really creative in the ways that they were getting together. And even when virtual wasn't available to them, for whatever reason, some of them were dropping off stationery and envelopes and communicating through the mail or just sitting down over the phone to stay connected and to share a few laughs or two, which we all need that in our lives. We need that laughter. So across Kansas, we serve over 1,500 youth and facing adversity. Right here in Reno County, we have 45 littles that are on a waiting list. So the time now, that's our present time, is truly more important than ever, that we are able to get those kids matched. And we thank you again for considering this opportunity to take the time to learn a little bit more. So before I get started, for those of you who are online, those of you that are here, you know me. My name is Denise Brodsky. I'm your new area manager for Big Brothers Big Sisters. And I started on March 16th, a little more than 5 months ago, I think. I have to count on my fingers. And it was really, really different, I can tell you that. But I am so thrilled right now to be able to introduce to you my co-presenter today and my boss, Shelly Jinberg. She's going to share a little bit about herself, and let's get us started.
Hi, welcome. My name is Shelly Jinberg. I'm the area director for Kansas Big Brothers Big Sisters serving Reno County. I have been with Big Brothers Big Sisters for about 7 years and a big sister for about 5 of those years. So I'm straight to the agenda. We're going to cover a lot of information over the next 30 minutes, and it's going to go quickly. If you are virtual, please ask your questions in the chat box. Hopefully it's in the right-hand side of your screen. And if you're in person at CosmoWorks, just raise your hand, and when something comes to mind, we will address it along the way for all to hear. Well, as we are learning more and more every day, we are truly better together, which this is the t-shirt you will receive for participating today. Ironically, we decided on this slogan back in October before all this happened, so kind of fortuitous, I guess. But anyway, you get this t-shirt, and we're happy to share it with you. And don't forget to hang around until the end, where we will draw for the winner of tickets to One Night in Memphis and dinner at Julian's. First, we're going to start with video. Yes, right. There are bigs right here in Reno County and across Kansas.
Found the cutest little non-tooth 5-year-old little boy with the biggest, brightest smile, and started doing things with him on a weekly basis. Loved his personality. He added as much joy to our life as I'm sure we did his.
The family picture that we took the day that we were matched with Justin, Harris has his arms up in the air like he just won something big, and it was Justin that he won.
It's not like that, you know. You meet each other and you get to know each other, and you just go from there. It's so cool to make a new friendship, you know.
I've enjoyed every time I get together with Evan. I've learned so much from him. We've had good experiences. I hope that some of the things that we've talked about and visited about and things we have done have helped Evan out, not having a dad, being able to talk about different things. So it's been good for me. I really have been a better person because of being in Big Brothers Big Sisters.
The littles in our program don't expect the world from you. They just want someone to talk to and a friend that they can confide in, even if it's just calling to check in a couple times a month or going to their baseball games and their recitals during school. They just want someone to know that they have their back.
You know, I don't know that I want her to necessarily learn anything. I just want her to know that she has someone if she needs something. You know, I definitely wouldn't want her to be a cookie cutter of me or anything like that, but you know, just learn that there's people that are there to support her and that are on her side and that want her to excel. I think that's what I would want her to learn.
I mean, just put yourself in some of these kids' shoes. I mean, not all of them have someone to even just really talk to or just hang out with for however, like an hour or so. Like, makes a huge difference.
I'd say I hope Owen finds something that truly fulfills him in life, whether it's a job or whether it's family, creating his own family, setting his own path that may be different from what he had.
Well, I want you to know that I see you, and I see your passion, your enthusiasm. I see how much you care for other people. I see your talents and your strength and your intelligence, and I believe that you can do anything you put your mind to. I have no doubt.
Wow, that's a powerful message. I saw it for the first time this morning, and I still get choked up because it speaks so much to our mission, which for Big Brothers Big Sisters, it's very simple. It's to create and support that one-to-one mentoring relationships that ignite the power and promise of youth. I'm going to try not to break into tears. I really am. I'm fighting it back. We serve only youth facing adversity. And we do that one thing, the one-to-one mentoring. We've done that for over 100 years nationally. We've done that for 50 years here in Kansas, and for over 20 right here in Reno County. So we're so proud of the work that we do, and that we've stayed committed to that mission all this time. We've never veered from it. So that's just a little bit about who we are and where we serve, again, all across the state of Kansas and across the country. Shelly is going to talk a little bit about the kids we serve. Shelly?
I'm still here. Well, every Big Brothers Big Sisters agency across the country matches only youth facing adversity, ages 5 to 17. We don't serve every youth. As she just read through our mission, we serve only youth facing adversity. And we give every youth a risk assessment survey upon enrollment to ensure that we are serving those in the community who need us the most. That is our goal. So as you look at these statistics and we talk about them, we always want to remind you that these are just kids, great kids, maybe just facing some challenging circumstances. Some of the youth we serve have only 1 or 2 measures of adversity, and some of them may have all of them. We work with you throughout the enrollment process to ensure we match you with a youth like you and with adversities that you are comfortable working with. I'll expand on that a little bit in a minute. Basically, there are 3 levels of youth development recognized nationally: primary, secondary, and tertiary. Primary youth development is basically group mentoring and what the Boys and Girls Club and the YMCA after school programs do so very well. We work with them, refer back and forth, and maybe they have a youth in their program that they see needs a little more one-to-one attention. Or maybe we get a referral for a youth that really doesn't have a lot of adversity, but could use a safe place to go after school and hang out. We mostly serve in the secondary youth development, and that is identified as youth who are more at risk of educational failures, risky behaviors, drug and alcohol abuse, and others. We also serve at the highest level of youth development, the tertiary level, and that is identified as the youth who have already had a brush with law enforcement of some sort. We do not have a high percentage of these youth, but we obviously work very hard to serve them when they come to us for a mentor. So if you have a passion for this level of youth mentoring, let us know on the form at the end, and we'll definitely get you connected. So let's dig just a little bit deeper and look at some of the descriptions of actual littles at each level. This little gal, she has multiple siblings. She loves them, but they drive her crazy. Her stepdad works a lot. They live at or below the poverty level, and she gets very little one-on-one time. So she's the lower end of the secondary spectrum, can really benefit and grow with some new experiences and one-on-one time. Moving up the spectrum a little bit, the next youth, you might find this little guy. He has a very resilient mom. She works 2 jobs. They've been forced to be a bit transient because of poverty, and he has already had some trouble in school. So he is definitely at the secondary level, a bit more at risk, so to speak, than little number 1. And then finally, at the tertiary level, the highest need, you might find this young man who's been diagnosed with a few mental challenges. His father's incarcerated, and he's already had a bit of trouble. He truly wants to do better. And we do ensure that every youth that we enroll genuinely wants to be a mentor, wants to have a mentor and be a part of the program. So he wants to do better, but he lacks the support and that he can to find that path. Again, we don't serve a lot of youth at this level, but if you have that passion, let us know. So now let's move on to what I love to talk about, and that is the cornerstone of the Big Brothers Big Sisters program, the Best Fit Match. We've been doing it this way for decades. During your enrollment process, we will ask you to fill out a preference sheet and an application where we will ask you a lot of questions about your interests, hobbies, skills. Maybe you like to fish, or you like to craft. Do you like to read, play sports? All of these things to learn a little bit more about you. We also ask you things like, where do you want to pick up your little geographically? The adversities you're comfortable working with, just a whole host of questions. We will then conduct a thorough personal interview where we learn even more about you and your personality. We do kind of the same thing on the little side as we enroll them. So then we will present you with 2 to 3 youth that we believe will be a best fit match for you. And you'll read through their subjective comments, the rest of their file, and you will pick your little. We kind of joke that we were probably the original Match.com. But truly, this is what makes our matches last longer, makes them a little more fruitful, and just more fun. It's kind of how you would choose your friends, I guess. We take this very seriously and work hard toward that best fit match because we know these youth have a lot of transition and it isn't helping them to rush to make just any match. Okay, so I'm going to hand it back over to Denise to talk about our goals and outcomes with these matches.
Oh, this is great. And this is my favorite part of what we do. As you've heard, we do one thing, and that's one-to-one mentoring. So Big Brothers Big Sisters is an evidence-based nonprofit, which means we provide outcome measures on each match, as well as for our programs overall each and every year. The ultimate goal of the program is to break the cycles of adversity in the lives of our youth that are very often generational. So it's really important that we break that cycle. We're very proud of the year after year. Our outcomes measures demonstrate that youth matched with an adult, they have better relationships with their peers and their families. They have higher levels of self-esteem. And they're just able to make better decisions and avoid risky behaviors. So the success of the program is real, and it is really pretty amazing, the changes that we see that occur in our littles, just because someone like you decided to just spend some time with them and on a regular basis. So in the end, we are working to serve those youth and support as many of them as possible, all the way through to the age of 25, with the ultimate goal of seeing that they have the resources that they need, that they go on to have a good job and earn a livable wage so that they can then provide for their family and generations to come. So we're at the point where you're probably sitting on the edge of your seat, wondering, oh, what does this mean, and how are we going to how does this work? And Shelly's going to go through that because she's the expert.
Well, I'm not an expert on a lot. Before I dive into this, I'm going to take a serious minute to point out that we feel very fortunate that our one-to-one mentoring is a relatively safe way to volunteer during this pandemic. It is just you and your little. I know there are a lot of nonprofits right now who unfortunately can't even accept volunteers because of the risks. So, that's something that it's a way to volunteer right now and make a difference that is relatively safe. It's also an incredible way to create change and bridge some of the divides that are creating a lot of civil discord in our communities. And quite frankly, as we think about the kids we serve, those facing a lot of adversity, those divides are getting a bit larger during this time of social isolation, time away from school, the racial issues in our country. Yeah, it's a lot. Currently, our bigs and littles are meeting in person with some guidelines, but some of them are also continuing to meet virtually following the comfort level that each match has as these numbers tick up and down. So really appreciate you taking the time to consider becoming a big and at least considering helping us spread the word. Okay, I'm off my soapbox now. Back to business. We have two types of matches. Home, to a movie, anywhere that is mutually agreeable with you and the little's parent or guardian. The activities are really easy, and bigs tend to overthink this at the beginning. But we have a saying, let your ordinary be their extraordinary. And it really is true. One of the things my little and I did this spring that was super impactful to her, I was getting ready to plant some flower pots on my front porch, and she had never done that. She didn't have a yard, don't have the discretionary income to do that. So she'd never been to a nursery, so I took her to the nursery, let her pick out flowers for her pot, and that was just a huge thing to her. Another story we love that just came in recently, a big called in and was kind of concerned because he had his little brother mowing his lawn. And but the truth is, this kid was a little mechanically inclined and wanted to learn to mow. Again, didn't have a yard. And yeah, so they bonded over doing lawn work and using some of those tools, and that's just awesome. In this community-based match, you can be matched as an individual, a couple, or a family, as you saw in the video. The time commitment is always one of the biggest questions we get. And in this match, we ask that you meet with your little 4 to 6 times a month, at least twice monthly. So this can be according to your schedule. It's very flexible in this match. For example, I pick up my little every other week and we do something for a couple hours. Last time I picked her up, I threw her bike in my car and we rode from my house to grab some pizza, which we ate outside, and I drove her home. Some bigs prefer to do 1.5 hours a week, or it's really up to you, the schedule you set. In both of our matches, we do ask for a 1-year commitment. Again, these kids have a lot of transition, and we try to get committed, lasting people in their lives. Well, now let's move on to the site-based match. And while we are not sure what will be happening in the fall with the schools, we are working with the school system to ensure connectivity at some level for these matches. And once we know the outcome, we'll have better direction there. But in the pre-COVID world, these matches meet only at the school, usually over lunch. You do not exchange contact information with your little or their family. You work with your match support specialist and the teacher to set up your visits. For a best fit match in these matches, we usually work with the teachers and counselors to find the best fit, because oftentimes you're looking for a little who is in a school near where you work or where you live. So we kind of go that route for the best fit match. The time commitment for this match is maybe a little less, but a bit more structured. We ask that you meet with your little 3 to 4 times a month, each basically 1 day a week. So for example, you would say, I'm going to meet with my little every Tuesday over their lunch hour for about 30 to 40 minutes. During this time, you can play games. Jenga is a favorite. You can go out on the playground. You can read in the library. Whatever it is you and your little want to do during this time, we try to make that happen for you. Okay, so I know all of this sounds like a lot, but you only need to remember community-based, site-based, and best fit match. Now, I think I'm going to flip it back to Denise, and she's going to talk about our match support specialists.
Another one of my favorite topics. One of the biggest and best differences with Big Brothers Big Sisters and other adult mentoring organizations are our match support specialists, because we employ only professionally degreed staff. And here's a great picture of Molly. And it's their responsibility to support you and your match throughout the life of your match. So it's, and the support is based on national standards that every Big Brothers Big Sisters agency must adhere to, which is designed to, number one, ensure the child safety, but also to ensure that the match is benefiting both you and the little. So safety is number one concern, and supporting you throughout the life of your match. Your MSS, or match support specialist, will be your go-to between you and your little's family. They are there as your personal sounding board, and each, because they've worked with so many hundreds of families and hundreds of matches, they can give you great advice and provide different ideas for activities too, and also help celebrate the successes and different milestones within your match. So that's about our match support specialists. They are key to your success, so I encourage you to stay connected with them, and they will make sure that they stay connected with you. Shelley is going to talk again about our match process and what to actually expect once you get started on that journey, and which will be a just a wonderful journey in itself. So Shelley?
Yes. Well, congratulations. You have finished step number 1, and that is an information session. This is it. So you're already on your way. The next step, we're going to ask you to fill out a green sheet, and you can do that right now. You can do it on your phone, your computer, wherever, whatever mechanism you're on right now. Go to bit.ly/Kansas Bigs. We ask you to fill out this green sheet because it kind of gets you started on the process if you're wanting to move forward. And even if you're not, it gives us some feedback that we need, and we try to record to help our program along. We call it a green sheet because literally back in the day, it used to be a green piece of paper. Okay, so the next step is your volunteer application, pre-interview questionnaire, and background check. Those will come to you all in one email. And it sounds daunting, but literally I've done it. It takes maybe 30, maybe 40 minutes to complete all of them. It's not very long. But that is the next step in the process and moves you through the process. Once you've done that, we'll move to your personal interview. And this is pretty in-depth. Both for child safety and, again, to get to know you as well as we can, so we can give you that best fit match. It'll last anywhere from an hour to an hour and a half, depending on how much you talk, I suppose. Then the home visit comes into play. If you're going to be a community-based match, we do a home visit. We do try to do this home visit and personal interview together, so it saves you time. So we'll come to your house and we'll do the home visit, and then we'll do the personal interview at the same time. The home visit is not a white glove test by any means. It's just a standard that we have to make sure that the home is a safe place to bring a youth. Currently, we are doing the personal interview and home visits in person, if you're okay with that, but we're also doing them virtually. So don't let that slow you down. We've figured out how to make that work pretty well. Once we go through that, we do the pre-match training videos. And these are just, I think they're 3 30-minute video, not 30-minute, they're each about 10 minutes, so 30 minutes total. That just kind of gives you a little more in-depth look about things your littles might be facing, the family dynamics, becoming a big and your role as a big, just a little more in-depth training. And these are done by our across Kansas match support specialists. So they're kind of our own design, and we're very proud of them. The next step will be the file showing that I talked about. Well, in a community-based match, we'll present you with 2 to 3 littles that we think are the best fit match, and you'll look through them and choose your little. It's hard to do, honestly, because you're putting 2 back on the waiting list, and that's tough. But usually when you read through these subjective files, you will gravitate towards one, and that's what we want to happen. We want it to be that best fit match that you have ownership and want to move forward with. Finally is the match meeting, and this is always kind of exciting and nerve-wracking. I mean, all the parties are a little bit nervous, but it's your match support specialist, you and your little and their parent or guardian. And we kind of go through some of the guidelines for the match with everybody there. And then you take your little out maybe for just a short visit, just ice cream, just the two of you. So it's well orchestrated by the match support specialist, but it's always kind of funny, the nerves involved. I mean, even as a big, you're nervous. It's funny because like, here, hey, I'm your new very best friend. Anyway, it's fun and it's a great way to get it started. The whole process takes about 30 to 45 days. I've seen it take as little as 2 weeks and longer. That really depends on your references. So when we ask you for those references, if you then go ahead and alert your references that they're going to be getting an email from us and to quickly fill out that, it takes them literally less than 5 minutes. That will help move the process along so we're not having to track down your references. So we talked about the match meeting a little bit, but during the stay-at-home orders, we got to do some of these virtually, so we got to see more of them firsthand. And you're going to get to see one right now firsthand.
Exactly. So that's a good point. So from this point forward, you are officially matched. So you are big and little together, which is awesome.
You know, I'm pretty free spirit. I just, you know, go with the flow. I like to have fun. What do you like to do? Do you like to play outside? Do you like to play inside? What kind of things do you like to do?
Read.
Read.
Makeup. Makeup.
Oh, you like to do makeup? Oh, girl.
That is awesome. Soccer and makeup. That's like a great
She
duo.
doesn't know yet, but Emily, so at my house, I have a house, and I turned one of my rooms into, it's called the glam room, and that is where only girls are allowed, and you get all dolled up, and you put on your clothes and your makeup, and you look super cute. So you will have to, you'll see the glam room. Good. Nice to meet you, Emily.
You all.
I'm much cuter in person.
Oh, welcome back. Everyone's still here in the room. I hope you're all still online too. So this is another fabulous video. And so your role is a big, honestly, you know, Shelly talked about what Shelly talked about may sound like a lot, but just remember that it's all geared to making sure that there's a best fit match, which again, is a major difference between Big Brothers Big Sisters and other mentoring organizations. What you see here on the screen right now is just a reminder again, this is what you'll find on the online. If you visit the bit.ly/Kansas Bigs, and please fill this information sheet out for us. It's really important that we get feedback from you, and we want to make sure that we can reconnect after the session is over today. So again, going back to your role as a big, the bottom line is, you know, we just need you to show up and be consistent about that too. We want to be supportive, and most of all, just listen to your little. They really truly need that, and it means a lot to them that they have someone that just listens to them. You don't need to know how to do math. You don't need to be an expert at technology. Obviously, you can tell I'm not an expert in technology, but you know, just be yourself, and we'll find the little that's just like you. And that's, again, the cornerstone of what we do. So we've had, for the short time that I've been here, I feel like this is a pretty awesome job that I was able to be a part of, an organization that means a lot to me. And I've had an opportunity to meet a whole lot of people in Reno, and there's lots of great people around the state. But the most amazing thing, as I've talked with some, and some have been matched for 20 years or longer, it's amazing. They've watched their littles grow. Carol's looking at me like, are you kidding me? 20 years. But I have yet to meet anyone who hasn't told me that being a big themselves was just as impactful, or if not more, than probably for their little. So it really is, when we say it's a win-win situation, it is. It's truly a win-win. So with all that being said, we're not here to be a big hard sell to you. We want to make sure that the time is right for you to be a big, and so I don't want you to feel pressured in any way, because we want you to commit for at least a year. But there are so many other ways that you can support us. And one of those ways, and number one, which is something I've lived by in my nonprofit work for eons, I don't even want to tell you, is donate. Because Big Brothers Big Sisters is a true nonprofit organization in every sense of the word. We do not have a business mechanism behind us that supports our everyday operations and the work that we do in our matches. So consider a small donation. If this isn't the right time to be a big, maybe you can consider a small donation. Any amount is greatly appreciated. Refer a big or a little. As we mentioned, sometimes many of our youth are on a waiting list, and that's not anything new. In fact, littles come in sometimes as quickly as we can match them. So it's kind of important that we have that constant pool of littles and bigs, so that we can make sure that there is that best fit match. And so we're always looking for great bigs and great littles. The other thing is connect us. Connect us for speaking engagements with your business civic groups and other groups. Lieutenant Gates was generous enough to have us come and speak to some of his officers with the Hutchinson Police Department. Thank you, Lieutenant Gates. And so that's a great example. Even in your church groups too. We'll talk to anybody who wants to listen to us for any length of time, and we really truly mean that. Social media, it's been something that for some people it's been their worst nightmare. Some people it's been the only way that they've stayed connected through these really challenging times. So now more than ever, it's really important to Kansas Big Brothers Big Sisters too. So if you happen to be on Facebook, like our page, you can find us, Kansas Big Brothers Big Sisters serving Reno County. Like it, follow us, and share. That's really the only way that we can spread the information through you, is by sharing. The other thing finally is we will have special events eventually, and we hope that that will start happening in 2021. In fact, we're working on details now, but check in with me or check in with your local office and find out how you might be able to help. We really truly love it when you're there as a volunteer for some of these events, because you're our best ambassadors, and you put a face to what it means to be a big. And so plus we'll have a little bit of fun together. So before we wrap it all up and get to our final great reveal of who's going to win the grand prize, want to make sure that you fill out the form. Again, we talked about that, and that'll be a chance for us to really be able to get back with you and connect. So if there are other questions at this time, I think we're going to go ahead and give away the concert to see One Night in Memphis at the historic Fox Theater, and our date night that includes also a gift certificate at Jillian's. And I have been told by our trustee Daniel on the other end of this, you can't see him, but he's picked the winner, and da 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 da. apparently it's Sarah Blake. Yay, Sarah. Give her a hand. Awesome. We're so excited that you're going to be able to spend a night with your bestie, and that could be your husband, your significant other, or your little. Because one night in Memphis, you'll want to make sure you check on the Fox Facebook page, but there may be some changes in the dates. But I have your ticket right here. So make sure you follow up with me with an email so you can tell me how to get in touch with you. And then everybody gets a free t-shirt today. So the ones that have joined us here in the room, they've already grabbed their stash. So just let me know what your sizes are and how the best way to get that t-shirt for you. But I really want to appreciate you and thank you for coming. And I just is there any questions?
Hi, Denise. Yeah, we have a question from Sarah. Shelly, if you want to answer these questions, and then Denise can take the questions in the room. Okay, so Sarah asks, on your site-based matches, do you encourage bigs to lean away from tutoring roles, or if the student and teacher ask for that role, is it okay? In addition to building a friendship with the little, of course.
Well, anything is okay if you feel comfortable doing it, but our program is about relationships. And so we're matching you on relationships, not necessarily that you have the skills to tutor this youth and what they need. So, I mean, I guess if you want to go to the library and help them with reading, that's up to you. But it's based on, fun and building a friendship.
Fantastic. We just have one more question, and this is one we get quite often. What if you can't, or you're not quite sure if you can commit to 1 year?
If you can't commit to 1 year, we'd ask you to wait, and maybe there'll be a time when you know if you can. Again, we're looking for relationships that last at least that long, if not longer. And so, yeah, I mean, check in with us and help us in some other way, or check back when the time is right.
Great. All right. Those are all the virtual questions I have. So Denise, I'm going to open it up to the people in the room. I bet they have some great questions for you.
Anyone have great questions? No pressure. Come on. And I just wanted to also tell you that Carissa Eisman is one of our CLC members, and I'm so proud that she's taken the step. Yeah. Is that a heart? I can't tell.
Heart.
Any questions? No? Okay. Well, I think we did a really good job then. I have no questions on this end.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank
guys.
you all very much.
Thank you, guys. Have a great afternoon. Stay safe and be healthy.